Rain poured over New York, the sky a heavy gray shroud as Daniel Carter shuffled toward the courthouse, his tattered coat clinging to his frame like a second skin. Mud streaked the fabric, and a musty stench rose from him, as if time itself had rotted his bones. He paused at the bronze sign New York State Courthouse, its letters blurred by the downpour. Pulling his worn baseball cap low, Daniel took a shaky breath and pushed the door open. Inside, the courtroom's polished stone floor gleamed, a stark contrast to his filth. All eyes turned to him: disgust, contempt, mockery. A woman in a violet dress recoiled, covering her nose. A man in a trench coat looked away. Daniel's muddy shoes left smears as he walked, whispers slicing through the air. "God, he stinks," a young woman hissed to her mother. His ears burned, but he kept moving, sinking into the defendant's chair, hands clasped tight to hide their tremble. No one here knew him, and they didn't care to. The gavel slammed. "Order!" Judge Thomas Reed's voice cut through, his lean frame and stone-carved face commanding silence. From the prosecutor's table, Nathan Blake leapt up, his black suit pristine, red tie bold against a crisp shirt. His eyes glinted with venom. "Your Honor, we're here to address a blight on society. Daniel Carter is a failure, a danger, a symbol of moral decay." Murmurs rippled. Daniel sat still, his heart constricting. Nathan pointed at him. 3 days ago, in a drunken rage, this man assaulted security guard Mark Evans at Sunrise Mall simply for being asked to leave. A woman in a beige coat gasped. "That's awful." Nathan's voice dripped sarcasm. A veteran of the Bosnian War, now a starving ghost, a threat to us all. Daniel's attorney, Ellen Hayes, rose meekly. "My client acknowledges his error and accepts suitable punishment." Daniel's chapped lips parted. "No, that's not true." But his words dissolved. Ellen avoided his gaze. Nathan smirked. "We rest our case." Judge Reed nodded coldly. "Does the defendant wish to speak?" Daniel stood, trembling. He's making excuses." Nathan cut in, flinging his arm. Snickers echoed. A young cop whispered, "Why not lock him in a psych ward?" His partner shrugged. "Waste of taxpayer money." Reed banged the gavel. "Sit down." Daniel slumped, head low, the stench of his soaked coat choking him. Officer James Carter entered, dropping a torn plastic bag Daniel's belongings on the table like trash, a battered backpack, a faded military jacket, a broken photo frame. Daniel stared, pain stabbing his chest. "Please don't," he mouthed. No one cared. Nathan rolled his eyes. Clerk Sarah Collins read the charges mechanically. Daniel Carter, assault and disturbing the peace. Recommended, 3 years. Reed declared a 30-minute recess. Daniel sat frozen as the crowd dispersed, their shoes clattering like knives. A boy with a red umbrella asked, "Mom, why's he so dirty?" She whispered, "He's bad, honey. Don't look." In a corner, an officer sneered, "New Bar Store Society's garbage." Daniel closed his eyes, memories of Bosnia flooding back, freezing nights with comrades, sharing water, saving children in Sarajevo's shelling. Now, he was despised, his backpack, his life abandoned on the table. The bell rang. Reed returned, expression unreadable. Nathan stood, triumphant. "Your Honor, this man is a menace. Punish him harshly as a warning." Reed nodded. The court sentences Daniel Carter to 3 years at Southfield Correctional Facility, effective immediately. The gavel struck. Daniel's lips quivered. "Please, Your Honor," one word, concluded, Reed snapped. Officer James handcuffed him roughly. "Move, old man." Daniel stumbled, glancing at his backpack. "Please, let me take it." Nathan sneered, "Confiscated." Officer Carl Turner yanked him. "Move, trash." Daniel's plea, "It's my keepsake," went unheard. Mark Evans leaned against the wall, smirking. "Good luck in prison." Daniel's eyes held only pain. In the hallway, Carl muttered into his radio, "Inmate Carter, ready for transport." Rain blew through a broken window, slicking the tiles. Daniel slipped, falling to his knees. "Get up," Carl barked. A young cop, Ethan Walsh, hesitated, but Carl's glare silenced him. In the lot, a prison van waited, its logo streaked with rain. Carl shoved Daniel inside, slamming the door with a metallic clang that echoed like his life's end. Inside, another inmate laughed. "Welcome to hell, old man." Daniel shut his eyes, cuffs cutting his wrists, rain mixing with tears. Southfield Correctional loomed, iron gates and barbed wire swallowing him. Officer Robert Hayes glanced at him, lips curling. Another ragged one, huh? He signed paperwork and ordered, Block C, Wing B. Guard Victor Ramsey shoved Daniel down a dim hall reeking of mold and blood. His cell was a narrow cage-stained walls, moldy mattress. Victor uncuffed him, pushed him inside, and slammed the door. Daniel collapsed, trembling, old wounds flaring. God, why have you abandoned me? He whispered. A voice through the wall mocked. New playmate, boys. Daniel curled up, sobbing, his backpack lost in the darkened courthouse. Officer Robert returned with Victor Kane, a muscular inmate with a snake tattoo. Your cellmate, Robert said. Victor grinned. Hey, old man, hope we get along. Robert smirked and left. Victor nudged Daniel's leg. Name? Daniel Carter, he rasped. Vet. Daniel nodded. Victor chuckled. Now you're just a sewer rat. He slapped Daniel's back, nearly toppling him. That night, Daniel lay awake. Victor's snores like a chainsaw. He saw his backpack, holding a photo of comrades, a medal, a letter from Captain Franklin. Please don't take it, he murmured. Morning brought sirens. Officer Ralph Sanders barked. Mess hall. Victor bumped Daniel. Move, or I'll grind your bones. The cafeteria stank of rot. Daniel's tray held watery porridge and hard bread. Inmate Tommy Ruiz blocked him. My seat, old fart. Daniel backed away, finding a corner. Victor sat across, smirking. Our general eats like a dog. Laughter erupted. Daniel spilled his tray. Tommy shoved him, and he hit a table, blood trickling from his forehead. Ralph shrugged. Daniel limped to his cell, leaving a blood trail. Victor sneered. Don't make me look weak, or I'll show you hell. Nurse Laura Bennett cleaned his wound. Who let you get like this? Daniel was silent. She whispered, Be careful. Weak don't last here. On his way back, Daniel saw Sarah Collins, the clerk, at the prison. She recognized him, hesitated, then turned away. That evening, Victor punched Daniel's stomach. Heard you were a soldier. I love a challenge. Daniel collapsed, gasping, as alarms stopped Victor. A week later, Daniel was a ghost, avoiding eyes. In the cafeteria, Victor stole his bread. You don't need this, old man. Inmate Eddie Cruz whispered. Bets on how long you'll last. 3 months. Laughter followed. At the labor office, Officer Bella Jameson handed Daniel a form. His trembling hand signed Daniel Carter. In the yard, a brawl raged. Robert sipped coffee, indifferent. Victor mocked. Tie a bell on the old mule. I can cut Daniel's hand. Robert shrugged. That night, a note slid through the mail slot. Your backpack exists. Someone's destroying it. Act. Daniel's heart raced. Inside were his wife's handkerchief, his medal, proof he mattered. He scribbled, I need help, and sent it back, praying. Next morning, Robert inspected cells, grabbing Daniel. Who were you writing to? Your backpack's burning tomorrow. Daniel slumped, whispering, No, at court for transfer papers. Clerk Margaret Lane stood by a box labeled for destruction as backpack. Daniel pleaded, It's my life photos, medals, my service. Margaret was cold. Protocol. Nathan Blake entered, smirking. Clinging to that junk? You don't belong here. Daniel lunged, screaming, Don't burn it. Officers dragged him out, his cries echoing. 3 days later, Judge Reed sat in courtroom 3, sunlight piercing the windows. Flipping through files, he froze at Daniel Carter. A yellowed note fell. Carter, Daniel, Sergeant, Bosnia, 1995. Saved Lieutenant Thomas Reed, Sarajevo. Reed's hands shook. He dialed Sarah. Give me Carter's full file. Cancel all hearings. Sarah delivered it, pale. Why wasn't his service mentioned? Reed barked. Prosecution summary, she stammered. Call Blake. Nathan entered, smug. Reed tossed the note. Explain. Nathan shrugged. His service doesn't erase assault. Reed snapped. You hid it for your campaign. Nathan sneered. You sentenced him without a thought. You destroyed him. Reed's rage boiled, but guilt hit harder. Reed convened an emergency review. Footage showed Daniel grabbing his backpack, not assaulting anyone. Ignored witness statements from aid centers surfaced. The conviction was a sham. That afternoon, Daniel lay in his cell, broken, when the loudspeaker crackled. Carter, court summons. Victor chuckled. More time, old man. Guards yanked Daniel to a van. At the courthouse, Ethan Walsh uncuffed him gently. Judge Reed wants you. In a private room, Reed stood, no robe, holding a file. He sank to his knees. Mr. Carter, you saved my life in Sarajevo, July 14th, 1995. I was trapped. You pulled me out, bleeding, shouting I wouldn't die. Daniel froze, tears welling. Reed's voice broke. I let you be dragged away, losing everything. I'm no judge, no man. Sarah handed Daniel his backpack. He clutched it, sobbing not from pain, but from being seen. Reed stood. Blake's under investigation. Your charges are dismissed. The city will apologize, provide housing, and medical care. Courtroom 3 buzzed with reporters, spectators, and cameras. Reed entered, eyes heavy. This isn't a trial, it's a correction. He held the document. In 1995, Sergeant Daniel Carter saved my life in Bosnia. He was rushed through trial, stripped of defense, humiliated, all for one man's ambition. Gasps echoed. Nathan was gone, suspended, facing charges. Reed continued. All charges are nullified, Carter's record expunged. The city will provide housing, health care, and support. Applause grew thunderous. Sarah confessed. I read the indictment blindly. I'm sorry. Daniel shook his head. I just wanted to be heard. Reed stepped down, kneeling again. I owe you my life. I let you die in dignity. The room stilled. Daniel stammered. Please, stand. Reed stayed down. I'm judged today. Applause roared. Sarah unzipped the backpack. A photo of young soldiers, a letter, a handkerchief from Daniel's wife. Ethan choked up. You kept it all. Daniel nodded. Proof I meant something. Reed took his hand. You're a human, worthy of respect. A week later, Daniel's story swept America. Headlines screamed, Veteran redeemed, Nation weeps. On WNYC, from his new Central Park apartment, Daniel said, I'd save him again, because saving others is right, not for reward. At a Union Square ceremony, the Department of Defense honored him, not for medals, but for dignity. Hundreds applauded, once scornful faces now tearful. Victor Kane watched from prison, silent. Nathan Blake, disbarred, faced charges. Daniel stood on the podium, backpack in hand. Gratitude saves souls. Justice saves society. The crowd thundered. Daniel smiled, his honor restored, a man reborn from society's ashes.